Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph, and today we're going to talk about how to be a crypto millionaire, really the hard truth. So, why don't we go ahead and get this party started? Join me, Rainmakers. So, why are we here in crypto really? Yeah, I know part of your mind said, you're here for the tech. But let's be real. It's because of the potential for your $2,000 to become $2 million, isn't it? Some think that crypto is like this magical universe. It isn't. The laws of emotions and investing still completely apply. Crypto is just an innovative technology that can vastly decrease costs, increase security, and cut out lots of the middlemen across the gigantic supply chain in the world. It has an accelerated investment cycle with even some predictability thanks to the Bitcoin halving that happens every 3 years and 8 months. Just know the road to wealth is often littered with failure because thinking like an investor isn't natural. It's unnatural, and it's learned. And it is often learned through hard lessons. But sometimes we as humans can watch the experiences of other humans and learn from them. So I'm going to go through the different failures and the different lessons associated with those failures. So failure lesson number 1 is chasing what is pumping. So story. Back in 2017 when I was a new crypto investor. Now I wasn't a new investor in general. I was just new to crypto. And there was this token called Pull token. And they were all about doing pulls on the blockchain, which sounded reasonable to me. And some of the big influencers at the time were talking about them. And I was invested in them and I had a whole bunch. And it was swinging up and down between 50 cents to $1. I think it went to $1 and then it retraced. And I was really getting impatient because I saw a lot of other things running. And so I sold when it was about 80 cents to throw that into something else. And wouldn't you know, guess what happened with Pull? See, it had been trading sideways for a while and building some momentum, and then it had its next leg up and went all the way to over $9 while I was in something that had just had their massive run, and guess what it was now doing? It was trading sideways. So was that a good lesson? Well, it was a great learning lesson that I hope that you can learn from. Failure lesson number 2. Passing on gems because nothing is happening. So, a little bit of story. I remember looking at synthetics or SNX and being very interested, but nothing was happening with it, and I felt like I would have more time. It was trading on this new weird platform that I hadn't really had much experience with. I had used once, but it was kind of weird, and I followed a tutorial with it. And this weird platform was called Uniswap, which at the time was new, and it wasn't really clear how to use it. And I thought, man, okay, I'm just going to wait. At the time, it was trading maybe 11 cents. And so I thought, I'll wait till it's on a bigger exchange. Well, I waited on it, and by the time it was on the bigger exchanges, it was trading for like $4. But because nothing was happening with it, I thought, oh, I have all this time. Well, a lot of times when nothing is happening with things, they're building momentum for a big explosion, especially when they're a really solid project. And that was exactly the case. And that's where failure lesson number 2 comes from. All right, failure lesson number 3. Selling good holds because nothing is happening with them. So in March of 2020, Cardano was trading at 4 cents. That's when the market tanked. I mean, the stock market tanked, and then the crypto market tanked with it, and it went under 3 cents, and it continued around that price for a while. And at the time, Tezos had come out with staking, and they got listed on Coinbase, and a lot of momentum was going to Tezos. Now, thankfully, I had learned this lesson prior life experiences. So I did not chase into Tezos. I actually kept stocking up on Cardano because it was an amazingly good deal. So failure lesson number 3, I didn't chase into Tezos. But since then, Cardano has gone, we've been playing around with close to $2 now. I think it's at $1.80 from actually 2.5 cents. You could have picked it up at the bottom. Lower than that. 1.7 cents, I think, was the bottom in March that it went to. Imagine if you had sold a very good project because nothing was happening so that you could roll that into Tezos. And at the time, Cardano was below number 10 in the total market cap. I think Tezos was way up there. And now, I don't know, Tezos might have 3x'd in that time when Cardano has 100x'd from that price. So selling good tokens to chase what is pumping doesn't usually end well. Failure lesson number 4, and we're just going to call them shit coins. Okay, so we all know that Doge has pumped from 0.5 cents to 72 cents, which is a 140x gain. That's pretty amazing, right? So Safe Moon, we've all heard the stories and know the stories. Do you know what these have in common? We know about these after the fact, but having predicted them, you would have had to know people behind the pumps of these pump and dumps. I tried playing in this slot machine market, which is what I call it, last cycle, and found that if I had just had the same amount in more predictable parts of the market over that same period, I would have made so much more. Now, if you love playing craps where the odds are stacked against you, this may be for you. If you like investing with better predictability, the shit coins are probably not for you. Failure lesson number 5, not taking profits. Do you know that what goes up always at some point comes down? When things go parabolic, that always ends with a retracement. I learned to start taking profits on the way up, and though in the short term I was often disappointed because I felt like I harvested this too early, I could have made so much more. In the medium term, I would look back and realize, okay, I did pretty well because the retracement, boy, if I had held and not sold at the top, I would have gotten way less out of it. Brings us to failure lesson number 6. Relying too much on one person's opinion. When people say do your own research, it isn't just a saying. At the end of the day, it helps you to learn and grow and to analyze for yourself. And this is growing part of your crypto knowledge and understanding. See, wealth follows knowledge. Grow your knowledge and you grow your wealth. It really is a simple equation that has profound effects. Failure lesson number 7. Relax. Relax because my best guess is that you have this cycle and likely at least one more major cycle. Perhaps even 2 before the huge peaks and valleys that we see in crypto flatten. Sure, you'll make mistakes. Just learn from them. Don't let one bad mistake or a few mistakes totally wipe you out of the game. I remember a lot of people that got into crypto in 2017. They had a few things go bad and they watched everything dump, and that wiped them out of the game. So they stopped buying in mid 2018, 2019, even 2020 when all of the buying was golden. I mean, everyone was hating on crypto, which is exactly why that's the time to be buying. And now they're just now getting back into it, and they missed out on some massive gains. Much of the things that I bought in 2019, they have 20, 50, and some of them 100x from back then. And so that is a really good time to be in the game. So even if you make some mistakes this cycle, stay here during the downturn. Now, that doesn't mean like be buying as everything is crashing. But when it gets slow, when it gets boring, and everyone's telling you, oh, crypto is dead and Bitcoin's going to die, that should be music to your ears, because that happens every bear market, or as we refer to it, every crypto winter. And that is the time to be buying, and I love that period. Overall, I want to thank you for joining me. If you're liking the kind of information you're getting here, would love if you subscribed and joined us. See, I started this channel because, like you, I'm an investor, and I want to make better decisions, and I felt like growing a channel would put me in touch with a lot of the teams and projects in the crypto space so I could get better information. Because here's what I know. Sometimes there's information that projects are fully able to disclose, but unless you know them, you don't know this information until it hits the general public. And by the time the information hits the general public, a lot of the gains have already been hit. So I had this crazy idea that if I could find ways to add value to you as a viewer, that perhaps you would subscribe to the channel, and together we would grow a big enough team that I can get access to a lot of the projects behind the scenes and hear what's going on, so I can have better information not only for myself but to share with you for better crypto investments. So I do note that none of this is advice. This is just the stuff I like, how I think about it, what I'm doing. And I hope in some ways that's helpful to you, but don't take it as financial advice. We really mean it when we say do your own research. You should be listening to multiple people, forming your own opinions about what you think. So without further ado, I'm going to leave you with our exit song from Manuela from Argentina that created a song for all you rainmakers out there. And the rainmakers are those that subscribe to my channel and they like every one of my videos, joining the bigger vision of helping us grow and become something bigger altogether. Thanks so much.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting paid. Come on, rainmakers, let's make this happen.